bigger and better. You didn't believe me. I know you didn't believe me, but guess what? You can't run no more. We finally here. This year, we doing bigger and better. We got guests, we got collabs, we going out, we in the street. Listen, we everywhere. So if you're not ready for this year, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do it. Today, man, I'm so humbled to announce this collab that we have today for Tuesday Talks with Trey. Man, it's a hometown hero, the smart, talented, fabulous, beautiful, raw, outspoken, Worldwide Speaks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Trey.
Guys, for you that do not know, she has her own podcast. She puts up YouTube videos. She has her situation she does on Instagram every single Wednesday, and every other day throughout the week, she just dropping knowledge. So anybody that follow me, I encourage you to follow her. Now listen, Worldwide Speaks. We're going to get raw today.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to be vulnerable. We're going to get raw.
Right.
You know what I mean? We diving all the way in.
All right.
And we ain't no strength. Look, this how we going to do it.
I'm ready.
All the way.
I'm ready.
All right? So I'm going to get straight into it. I watch a lot of your work, you know what I mean? A lot of it resonates with me. A lot of it, I'm sure, resonates with a lot of more people. But you're raw. You're raw. You speak from the heart. But one thing I have noticed is that you use a lot of biblical references. So, like, where did that whole concept come from? You know what I mean? Like, were you always spiritual? Or like, what was the upbringing, or what was the thing that clicked or changed? Like, talk to me a little bit about that.
Honestly, it wasn't necessarily the upbringing, because, you know, you can have your relationship with God based off of other people. But when you get through life on your own, you get your own relationship. And that's what produces your own oil with God. And so with the biblical references, it's not just a reference, it's like my life. It's the word that keeps me going because it's true and it's alive. So without that, I would not be who or where I am today, because it's all the glory to him. Who you see is not me, it's he who is in me. You know what I'm saying? Great is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So I give all the credit to him.
Absolutely. And I second that, because I know for a fact I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for him. Right. But like, what was the motivation though? I mean, like, I understand, like, you know, we're getting older and we're starting our families and doing things in life and being an adult and a grown up. But like, what was the motivation behind, like, okay, cool, today, Worldwide Speaks, you know what I mean? I want to chase this. I don't want to chase this anymore. Like, what was the motivation behind that?
Okay, that's a great question. Honestly, the pain put the cherry on top. My last situation, my child, going through that by myself really humbled me on a whole nother level, because going through life on my own, and you know, after I got into college and making my own decisions, I see that I was not making the best once I graduated. Honestly, you know, you think because you're making good grades, it's more to life than that.
For sure.
You got to have a plan and what you want to do, and I didn't have that. I was just aimlessly living. And so, you know, God had been trying to call me, get my attention, but I wouldn't answer because I wanted my own will and way. And then I see where it led me. So then I finally surrendered and said, God, you use me. So in that dark place is where God showed his light. And so he spoke to me and said, start speaking. Because I'd already been speaking, you know, doing my little inspirational videos, but I still didn't have no aim. Now I have aim, now I have purpose, and now I know my destiny. So he said, start Wisdom with Worldwide on Wednesdays. That was like maybe 5 months into my pregnancy. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? I'm by myself. This is embarrassing. I'm ashamed. I'm like, why would I do something like that? He said, it's not about you, it's me. And I want to use you in your most broken moments, because that way they know it's him. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? So from then, I was back in 2021, earlier that year. March 3rd is when I started. So 3/3/21, and I kept going. So when God opens one door, it leads to many others with, you know, the obedience.
We're going to have some church in here today. I'm trying to tell you. You better come on.
So I just want to tell the people, obey God. Stop running from your calling and answer it. He has great things for you. Your will and your way leads nowhere. It feels good for the moment, but it does not lead you nowhere. He knows best, you know, so.
So with that being said, though, you know what I mean? Like, kind of break it down for the people and for me. Like, how do we know what's God's voice? You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of times with me, I hear a lot of voices in my head, or sometimes I may be swayed to go this way rather than this way, or, you know what I mean? I'm constantly hearing things like, how do we distinguish a regular voice, the devil, God's voice, or our voice? You know what I mean? Like, how do we distinguish that?
You distinguish it by knowing his word, because his word reveals his nature and his character. So when he says in Jeremiah 29:11 that he has a purpose and good plans for you. Let me tell you something. You got to think about it. You would never tell yourself nothing good. You may be like, it's coached. It's not for real. There's no good thing that dwelleth in the flesh. So you naturally don't have nothing good in you without him. So that's already to separate yourself from God.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the enemy, you know he hates God. And he hates us just because we're his children. He would never tell you anything good. God always speaks good. He speaks life. So when you hear life thoughts, life ideas, that's God, easy. That's the way it was taught to me, and I learned it like, wow, that's God. Anytime you look at somebody and you think something positive, tell them that's God. You never know who needs something in that moment. That's why it's important to remove you out the way and how you feel and do what God wants you to do.
So that's good. That's good, because I always thought it was a sound I was looking for. You know what I mean? Or a sound I was waiting to hear, but it's more sort of message.
Yeah.
More sort of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ah, man, that's great. That's great.
Honestly, can I say this as well?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
When you think about it, everything is spiritual, and he's always speaking. He can speak through his nature, through animals, everything. He's not just limited to, pages. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
but
right.
the word just helps you understand who he is.
Okay.
So that way, when you're paying attention to the outer world and the people that come to you, you know what's of him and what's not.
Right.
That's why he said you shall know them by their fruits. So, he can speak to your spirit in a subtle voice, yes. Or it could just be something that you're watching and you'd be like earlier when all three of us were talking, he was like, look, that was God confirming that it is, that uncomfortable place that y'all, you know what I'm saying?
I told y'all, we diving straight in today.
Yes, sir.
If you didn't go to church Sunday, we got you. Wisdom with Worldwide on Wednesdays. I'm telling you, you want to follow her right now. You don't want to miss it. She dropped gems. She'll get you in that Bible. She'll have you thinking. She'll teach you some things. I don't got to say nothing else. We're going to keep this thing rolling. That brings me to my next point. You're a black woman.
Yes.
Black woman living in the United States has its own set of challenges. You know what I mean? Like, oftentimes you guys may not feel as heard.
Right.
You know what I mean? You may feel you are a minority, so it's no may about that. You are a minority. You're black and you're a woman. That's a minority. Right. You know what I mean? And you're outspoken, so you're speaking your truth, and it's different from what a lot of other people are speaking, because a lot of other people are just speaking what's hot or speaking what they heard someone else say, or not necessarily their truth.
Right.
So I want to ask you, who do you really, when you speak, who is your messages for? Like, is it for a particular group of people? Is it for a person? Is it for families? Like, who is it for?
It's for people that I was like the lost, that's looking to be found, but missing the fact that we're already found by the Most High. So we're looking to be chosen when we're already chosen. So that's who my message is for, to wake them up and call them back home and let them know there's no fear. God is not concerned about what you've done, what you've been into. He don't care about that. Just come home. Don't worry about religion. I don't do religion. I do relationship. I do kingdom talk, not culture talk.
So hold on. I want to stop you right there real quick. Explain that to us. What's the difference between relationship and religion?
Religion is full of rules. Religion divides. Jesus came to disrupt all of that. He doesn't care about no rules. When he wants you, he's going to come and get you. As imperfect human beings that we are, he know we have done things and are continuing to do things, but he came to disrupt that and wanted to leave his Holy Spirit in our body if we just allow him in. So that's why I teach and do what I do passionately, because I was so ashamed to come back home. I'm like, God, I'm coming back with a baby by myself. I look dumb. He's like, I ain't worried about that. You my child. I'll take you back in. He can walk away. I got you. So
you think obedience has a lot to do with it?
Yes, it definitely does, because he had been calling me. I had been running out of fear, out of, I hated religion, but God says, I'm not religion. You got to get to know me from me. So that's why I'm so, such an advocate for telling people, learn God for yourself. Read the word for yourself.
Everybody's going to be different.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody is going to hear different and learn different, but ultimately you will know them by their fruits, and that'll never change. It's not about a look. Of course, modest, but it's not about that. You can wear the longest skirts, but your heart is nasty.
For sure.
God is concerned about that heart, cleansing that heart out. It's an inward, outward job.
There you go. So there's no cookie cutter formula for, you know what I mean, chasing God's purpose or chasing God's word. Like, everybody's different. Everybody's unique.
Yeah.
Yours is different from mine. Mine's different from theirs, and whoever else watching.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what's important, you know what I mean, is building that relationship and figuring out how you fit into that. You know what I mean? And I think it has a lot to do with what you said, like having a conversation, sit down, talking to them, getting into the word. Because I know for myself, that's one of the things I struggle with too. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's just me. I want to do it myself. I want to chase things myself. I want to figure out things myself. But whole time, all they doing is saying, Trey, just pause, champ. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
Let me lead you.
Yeah.
But me, being the type of guy I am, I want to lead. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I miss things just trying to be out in front, trying to do his job. And I think like you just hitting it, and it's confirmation for me because it's just like, yo, this is real life. This is authentic.
Well, actually, it's nothing wrong with that leader nature that you have. That's that king in you that he put in you. So it's just that you're a leader, but you have to learn how to be led. The greatest thing you could be is a servant. So when you learn that, you know, everything will come into play, but it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Just learn how to compartmentalize it.
Absolutely.
You know, so as me being a woman and a leader, you know, I'll have a husband one day. I'm gonna have to learn how to be led by him while he's being led by God. So learning that order and submitting to that is a process in itself. So,
do you ever feel yourself as an outcast though, because you do speak the word? You know, it's different than what we hear. Like, do you ever feel like that you're an outcast and you're not heard by maybe the people that you would want to be heard by or the masses?
Well, actually, I know that I'm an outcast. I've always been one, and it took me probably the longest to accept it. Even when I tried to fit in, I still stood out. I was always like a little awkward, but God is like, why are you trying to fit in when I've called you to stand out? You know what I'm saying? You're doing everything everybody else doing, and you still not gonna fit in. You know, you're doing it just like them, and I'm gonna make sure they still don't see you because I see you. So when it comes to being heard and stuff like that, actually, I'm being heard by the people that I want to be heard by. Because I always say I'm not rated E for everybody, I'm rated C for the chosen ones.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I say that a lot.
I'm telling you, y'all, listen, you better get with her. She talking her talk right now. Y'all didn't believe me. This year, I told you we was coming back bigger and better.
Yes, sir.
We starting off on top. Yes. Man, you killing it right now. So it brings me to my next point, though. Man, we live in a microwave, super quick generation. Like everything got to pop right now. You know what I mean? But this what we're doing, it's a slow grinder.
That's right.
It's like a pot roast. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like you put it in the roast and just let it go all day. You wake up in the morning, come home, and you don't eat it till 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Like, talk about your struggles with, you know what I mean, wanting to get to a certain point, but knowing that, you know what I mean, like your journey is gonna be your journey. Like, it's no way to get to that point unless you cheat the process, but there's no way to authentically get to that point, you know what I mean, and to stay yourself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes time, like, it takes work, like, it takes a whole lot of the other stuff. Like, talk about that. Talk about the process. Because, hold up, a lot of times, we skip that process.
That's right.
But the process is where we do the most learning, the most growing, the most, you know what I mean? Like, the process is what makes us. People only see the end result.
That's right.
People may see the beginning.
That's right.
But the process is what you're speaking from.
That's right.
Talk about it.
Let me tell you something. I love that analogy about the slow roast. I don't think people really understand what it takes to cook a roast. You gotta get it out, dry it out, and then season it because you don't want no wet meat. You gotta dry it then. You season it. You gotta make sure it's seasoned real good, and you put your, your carrots, potatoes, or whatever, and you let it cook. That's how God does us.
My grandma did.
He got to, take his time with us. He got to, when Joseph went into that pit, people looked at it as a mistake, but it was supposed to happen. You may be like, huh? So you may be like, don't look at it like me becoming a single mom. It wasn't the worst thing, and it was the best thing because it slowed me down. Though I led myself into it, I did do that. And God told me, hold on, I got you. You don't know what you got yourself into, but I do. Now I see it had to happen. It slowed me down. It woke me up. I was living fast. You know what I'm saying? Graduated college. I'm looking good. I'm like, ooh, I ain't had no aim. And God is like, hold on, I got you. I need to slow you down because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And he did just that. So every day looking at her is a process, but she's going fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's happening quicker than we think, and he's teaching me. It's not about the destination, it's the journey. I started crying a couple weeks ago because I seen like something happen and I recognized my growth. You ever really seen yourself grow? I'm like, yo, I didn't do what I used to do. I'm not where I want to be, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be. So if you're watching this, slow down. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just slow down. You can work a regular job, have a regular car, it's fine. You don't have to, because ill-gotten gains, it won't go far. It will not. That's what the word says. And he says, every word that I speak will not return unto me void. He does not lie. He said what he said, and I just slow down. It's all right. If you got to get off social media and detach from the phone, do that. You looking at everybody else, but you don't know what they're going through to get that. Some people are living honestly and some are not. But at the end of the day, focus on your journey. Take the steps. The elevator, you get there fast, but you're missing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on. You better stop. You got to be shaking over here right now. I better jump out the chair. That's real though. You know what I mean? Like, we can't get caught in a compare game. You know what I mean? Like, man, I spoke on that one time, maybe a year ago. the stairs. It's so much joy in taking the stairs. You know what I mean? Like you see people, you see the mistakes. Like you endure some of the mistakes, but man, you learn so much. Like you don't learn when you get everything right. It's impossible. How?
Right.
Like what am I? I'm just doing it. I got it right. I don't got to worry about it no more.
Right.
No, you learn when you make mistakes and
That's
mistakes and mistakes over and over again.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. And it's crazy though because like so many people, man, like they just want to be. They want to go viral. They want to be famous. They want to. I'm cool off all that. I'm cool. When it's my time, it's my time. Timing is everything.
Yeah.
What is timing to you? When I say the word timing, what's the first word that strikes your mind?
Patience.
Patience. Patience is a virtue.
And I didn't recognize that until I have to always revert back to her because she's my biggest example. Giving birth to her was a rebirth of me. Like I literally was reborn that day in that hospital. Like, oh my goodness, it's life for real. Like I'm not gonna always be, because I was a spoiled kid growing up. Like so
yeah, for sure.
I'm just like, mommy can't take care of. No, it ain't her job. I did this. Now you gonna get out there and you're gonna build from the ground up. Take it day by day by day, and then I'll see.
So these people that's living behind these smoke mirrors, making it seem like everything just all peaches and cream, this the real.
Yeah.
Like this the real. When you have a kid, when you have a daughter, when you done already went through college, when you're supposed to have your whole future ahead of you, and boom, now you got to deal with this. This the real.
Yeah.
What we see on Instagram, we see them 30, 45-second reels, and we think, cool, all right, cool, anybody can go out and do that. Nah, this the real. You have blood, sweat, and tears in that sweat equity.
I'm on there, cried almost majority every day, but then I realized I'm not mad at who walked away. I'm mad at me. Because when you're looking everywhere else for love instead of yourself, you see that they're not the issue. They're just a reflection of you. So in this whole journey, I've learned forgiveness on a whole nother level. I've learned love. I've learned grace. I see God like in everything.
Right.
In everything. So it's just like, by me slowing down, I tell people, slow down. You don't have to keep up with nobody but you. You comparing takes away from what God is trying to do in you. You know what I'm saying? Let the people come to you. Let the time and everybody's not going to be blessed to be in the spotlight. And that's okay. In the body of Christ, it's many different parts. Some people is a pinky toe, but you got a lot of weight to you. But you got to see the greatness in you. If you're not looking at somebody and becoming motivated, take your eyes off of them. Because when that jealousy hits, you become destructive. So, just slow down. It's okay. Like I look good right now and everything, but I got to go home. I got to, get my mental right. So just having that break, that 30 minutes, for this time, I go back to her, love on her, and we have our bond and everything. And even if you don't have children, don't feel like you can't relate. Still slow down.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I hear you talking, I think of one word, change. I feel like you had to change. It was a point in your life to whereas, all right, cool. The Worldwide Speaks that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
It's not the same Worldwide Speaks as 2022.
That's right.
Change is not always bad.
That's right.
I think change has a negative connotation in this generation because people think that, all right, if I can't do things the way I'm accustomed to doing or the way I'm used to doing or the way I've always seen them done, then I'm doing them wrong.
Right.
Speak on that.
Well, see, in Romans 12:2, it talks about transformation. Change is
Growth.
like right here. Transformation is here. I want to change you from the inside out, from the way you dress, your mindset. See, people think, I'm going to move to a new city, I'm going to get a new job, but your mind's still the same.
Same.
You bringing hell with you everywhere you go because it's here. So God want to work in that mind, and that's what he did throughout that process, throughout that dark season of my life, throughout that valley. When he said, I'm going to walk with you, yea, through our walk, through the valley, he walked with me, and he took this piece out and he put that in. So I don't have to go looking for nowhere else but in me for what I want. You know what I'm saying? So
these nice clothes and all that stuff is good. You look nice, but if the inside ain't right,
come on
it
now.
don't mean nothing, do it.
Come on now.
Come on, I'm telling you.
You can
Listen,
get all the
we
Gucci,
gonna
Chanel,
have
all you want to. You can, sell all you want to. They ain't gonna get you nowhere.
You got to change from the inside out, and that's the only way you transform. Transformation is growth. You cannot grow from the outside, and you got to grow from the inside out. It's the only way it's done. It's the absolute only way. So we're gonna throttle it back down a little bit because I'm sweating over here, and I ain't trying to get off. You know what I mean? Like I want us to stay on topic. What is a day in a life? From morning to evening. You don't got to get too specific, but you speak with power. You empower people. Like you walked in the room and you had an aura to you. You know what I mean? Like what is a day in the life? How do you get to that point? Like when you wake up, you know, is the first thing you do is pray, read? Like what do you do? Meditate? Like explain to us just so we can get an understanding of what is a day in the life of Worldwide Speaks.
Okay, well, first thing I do is, I check my phone, and then I like to look at the Holy Bible app. I like the Bible app on my phone because it's easier instead of picking up the big thing. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I just, read in my spirit. Sometimes I don't read aloud. I just meditate, and while she's sleeping, because sometimes, like while she's in the room, if she see me, she peek up and she's up for the day.
Yeah.
And I may have gotten 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but it's okay. God is teaching me in this season to adjust. You can't control everything. So I've learned slow down. Now I need you to adjust. When life hits you, you can't control everything that comes your way. Learn to control you. You know what I'm saying? She's young. She, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to get it going. What is it? I'm like, oh man. So, I make sure that I'm in his face before I'm in her face. Because he gives me patience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I say, Holy Spirit, give me your patience for today. Give me your temperance. And boop, just because I asked, he gave it. You have not because you asked. Now he gave it to me. The small stuff. Everybody asks for money. Ask for patience. Ask for that. And so, I go throughout my day, get her ready. I like to have her cute in the house, chilling with her jammies or whatever.
No doubt.
Then, I'm chilling. I get ready for my videos. And, it's my life getting on there, just talking to y'all.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
and I get some lunch and stuff. I just really be chill. I go with the flow. I don't force nothing. If I literally have nothing to say, I won't speak.
There you go. So do you feel like there's a certain way that you have to talk to God, or you feel like you can just come to him however way? Like, can you talk to God the same way you and I are talking right now?
Yeah, that's my homie. That's my boo thing.
See, that's what I'm talking
That's my
about.
homie.
That's what I'm
Like,
talking
we
about.
locked in. He's
Okay,
trying to get,
okay.
if you ever seen The Shack, that's a very good movie for everybody to watch to get a great understanding of a relationship with God. If you are needing that mother love, he'll be your mother. If you need that friend, he'll be your friend. You need a boo, you down to have somebody, let me tell you, he the best boo ever. Treat you good. Now, what about nothing?
Treat you good,
You know
huh?
what I'm saying? He'll never lay you down, but always tell you he love you. That's that real love. You know what I'm saying? So he's everything. Just be yourself in his presence. He already knows you.
And guys, I just want you to know again, this is our first time doing this. And y'all see the chemistry up here.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, if you find like-minded people, if you find people that's chasing the same things as you, things are going to flow. You're going to find different doors opening up in your life only because you separated yourself from the people that you didn't need to be with or the things that you didn't need to be around into placing yourself into the things you do need to be around, the people you do need to be with. So that's just a testament, man. Like, sometimes you got to change. Sometimes you got to change your circle. Sometimes change is inevitable, but you know what I mean? But like, understand that change is not always bad. Sometimes change is necessary. Sometimes change is necessary for transformation. Transformation is growth. Oh man,
Can
listen.
I say something?
All right, couple quick questions. Favorite quote? What's your favorite quote or saying?
Okay, it's 2 of them.
Okay.
The Harriet Tubman, I like be free or die.
Okay.
I love that because freedom is everything. I don't think people really cherish their freedom the way that they should.
Okay.
When it's just you. Literally learn how to divide your time. The first person you should ever be in a relationship with is God, then you. And then and everybody else come after that because he'll teach you how to love the way that he loves. You know what I'm saying? It's that genuine, authentic. This generation has a motive behind everything. You know what I'm saying? Just being genuine is what he teaches. So there's an order to that. And then my second favorite quote is Maya Angelou. People may not always remember what you said or what you do, but it's how you make them feel.
How you make them feel.
And since I've learned that, like, I ain't been no saint my whole life, but once I realized, you got an impact on people. Watch how you make them feel. Watch how you treat them. They're going to always remember that. They'll associate you with that feeling. So when I leave the room or when I finish talking, I want to know that I empowered them. May not always feel good, because power don't always feel good, but it's for your good. You know what I'm saying? So
When you die, you can't leave nothing with nobody except for memories.
come on now.
That's it.
That's it.
We gonna only remember how this conversation went.
That's
These
it.
people gonna only remember how this
Yeah.
conversation went.
Yeah.
They don't know us.
That's
A lot of them don't.
That's
Some
right.
of them do.
That's
They don't
right.
know us on a personal level. You know
Right.
what I mean? But they gonna know, all right, cool. Like what they talking about right now, it struck me right here. Like this opened up something totally different. I wasn't even really ready for it.
Come on now.
But you know what? I heard them speak on it. I heard them talk about it. They going through some of the same things.
That's right.
I know I'm not the only one. My favorite quote, if we keep waiting for the right time, we'll be waiting forever. I had a coach tell me that. I think for me, a lot of things in my life always wanted to be the right time. I wanted everything to just be so perfect. You know what I mean? Like, probably because I'm a perfectionist, I ain't gonna lie. But what I had to learn is that I was never gonna get to that destination. Like, it was never gonna just appear, all right, cool, Trey, here it is. It's the perfect time, do it right now. Nah, I had to learn, like, listen, sometimes you just gotta do it. Sometimes I just had to say, forget it, put my hands up, and just go out. Even with this speaking, I started speaking in the heart of the pandemic. I had absolutely nothing to do. We was working out. You ask my wife, we was working out. My brothers, all of us was there. And it was just like, I need something else to do. And I would just talk all the time. And they would tell me like, Trey, you talk too much. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to hear what y'all got to say. You know what I mean? And it would start to be more intimate conversations, and not only with them, but some of my friends and things like that. So I'm like, you know what? Why not let somebody else hear it? Why not put this on a bigger scheme or a bigger platform? Got my phone out one day, click record, scared to death, absolutely horrified. But I was like, you know what? We're going to do it. And whatever happens, happens. First video, I got a little bit of traction. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to do it again the next week. Second video got a little bit more traction. So I'm like, all right, cool. The people that's responding to me are not the people that I expected to respond to me. So I'm like, am I reaching them on a different level? Are they paying attention? Because them the type of people, I never thought they would pay attention to nothing like this.
Come on now.
Right? You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, third video. Now I got people DMing me on the side or messaging me on the side. Yo, like, you really said this earlier. It struck something different. I needed help with this. I'm going through this right now. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, not only is this helping me, but it's helping other people. I may not know what they're going through at the time. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't feel like talking, somebody else might need it.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like now, it's not necessarily just a hobby, it's my duty, it's my purpose. Talk about living in your purpose.
If you ain't living in your purpose, then why are you here?
What is purpose, matter of fact?
Purpose is who God has called you to be and why you're here. Everything always goes back to him because he's the creator and he know why he created you. And the only way you'll find out why you're here is when you seek him. When he says, seek ye first the kingdom and all his righteousness shall be added unto you, he means that. So you got to seek him first, not the world, not your friends, God knows everything about you. And once I sought him for who he has called me to be, that aura that you sense is my identity in him. So I can walk around because I know who I am and whose I am, and there's nothing you can say to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind, I did want to piggyback with a statement talking about change is bad, because some people think change is bad.
For sure, go ahead.
But that's literally in that fear of letting go of your old self. But your old self didn't get you that far, so why not let go? Let go of the old friends, let go, so that way you can go far. And if it's real love, they'll understand. Let go.
I heard Will Smith say it one time, fear is not real. Fear is something that we make up in our mind.
Come on now.
What do you think about that?
Yes, false evidence appearing real. That's the right thing. The enemy will use that. When somebody's more scared of you than you are of them, they'll do anything, especially when they know they got the upper hand. So when you walk in that, I know who I am. I am this person. I'm not who I used to be. And I also want to ask you, when you started getting feedback with your videos, did you notice your biggest supporters were people you didn't know?
Absolutely.
Why
you know
is
what
that?
I mean? That's a good question, but I primarily think because they didn't have to worry about anything. They didn't have to worry about being judged. They didn't have to worry about how I would respond to them. You know what I mean? Like, they had no strings to me. They had no strings attached. It was just like, all right, cool. He don't know me. I don't know him.
Right.
But I like what he doing, and I'm going to just go ahead and give him his flowers. However, you got some people that's right there in your backyard. They been knowing what you're doing, but they don't want to give you flowers.
Come on now.
That could be a myriad of reasons. Now, I don't really want to get into that,
Come
but we
on.
all know, y'all know. The people that don't want to support you that's right in your
Come on now.
backyard, you know what's the reason. You know what's the deal.
Come on.
So I don't really got to speak on that, but man, I definitely want to take the time out right now just to shout out all my supporters, you know what I mean, from day one to now, and the future supporters, and I'm sure she would say the same thing.
Yes, I
like, you guys, like, none of your messages, your comments, your likes, any of that stuff, conversations, none of that stuff goes unnoticed, you know what I mean? And, if I fail to get back to you in a timely manner, if I fail to get back to you at all, like, my apologies. Like, keep sending questions, keep sending concerns. I promise I'll get back to you, and I'm sure Worldwide will say the same thing.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we couldn't do what we do without you guys. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are our fuel. You know what I mean? Like she said, God is the reason we do all this stuff. But God put in our hearts that, hey, it's not only for us, it's for you guys too.
That's right.
So make no mistake about it. You guys are a huge part of what we do. And we're not gonna stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I just told you, you ain't expect us to be right here.
Come on
but
now.
we're here. So this is how we gonna rock. Next question. Favorite Bible verse and why?
Proverbs 3:5.
Okay.
Trust in the Lord thy God with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. I had a dream a couple years ago, it was just the Bible open, and it was like a magnifying glass over 5 and 6, verse 5 and 6. But I take 5 because when you trust God, you can let go of control. And I didn't know that I was a control freak, trying to, you know, just tweak his plans my way. But he said, my ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are not your thoughts. Yeah. I know better than you. I see 20 years ahead. I see 20 minutes ahead. So when I say no, it's for your good. So trusting him, like I can be so comfortable wherever because he opens doors that no man can shut and close doors that no man can open. So walking around with that authority, knowing that it's really in his hands and his plans, he got the, you know, the path and the way, and I just got to walk it. It makes life easy. Not being in control, like just trust him. And it's a process, but start taking steps. If you can trust people you can see, why not trust somebody you can't see?
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. And the main word for that is faith. You know what I mean? We gotta have faith, and the only way to have faith is to dig in that word, man. Dig in that word, build that relationship, man. And I promise you, like, your life will change, and it'll change for the better. Like, we keep saying the same words over and over. Why? It's not a coincidence. Like, these words are powerful. These words hold life unto you. You gotta use them, man. My favorite Bible verse, and I pulled it up because I don't want to butcher it.
You're fine.
Romans 8:28. I love it. I love it. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. We've been called.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean? Like, we've been called, and you spoke on purpose earlier. We're fulfilling our purpose right now. Like, we're doing it. Like, we're chasing our purpose. Like, and I think life is a constant marathon. I don't think we ever reach where we want to be in life, but it's just always a constant chase, always a constant hunt. You know what I mean? And this is just my opinion. Like, as long as we're chasing that, as long as we're living on God's purpose and God's word, like, we're doing what we're supposed to do.
That's
you know what I mean? Like, as long as I can see God in you, you can see God in me. Somebody else can listen, like, I don't know what it is about her.
That's right.
But it's something special. That's all I need to hear.
That's it.
You know what I mean? That's it. I don't need none of the verified stuff on the socials. None of that stuff don't matter, because at the end of the day, we talked about it earlier. You can't leave with that.
That's right.
I'm not about to leave with no blue check. I'm not about to leave with no, you know what I mean? I want a podcast, don't get me wrong, but I'm not about to leave with no podcast. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the messages behind all that. You know what I mean? It's the stuff behind those smoke and mirrors. I'm trying to tell you, listen, man, all this stuff is crazy because it all just piggybacks up on you know, what we talked about earlier. So, all right, let's lighten it up a little bit. Go ahead, speak.
I did want to say that even though we can't take none of that verified stuff with us, it's a blessing that God blessed you with that.
Absolutely.
And that's a door opener for other souls. Yeah. Because the ultimate goal in our purpose, we can enjoy ourselves, but it's supposed to win souls. So even in this moment, winning souls, just planting the seed, because some plant, some water, but God will get that increase and getting them to think about God. So it's a wonderful thing. You know, even though I feel like it's more genuine when you don't seek for it and it happens for you, and it did. So, you know, you taking advantage of it, that's God. That's a good thing.
What do you think the biggest word or the biggest piece of advice you've gotten since you started speaking? Like, it could be from other influencers, other speakers, your friends, your peers, parents. It could be from anybody, mentors. What do you think is the biggest piece of advice you've gotten? I'll tell you what, I'll go first. I'll let you down, go first. Simple but powerful. Stay consistent. And I think you even told me that as well. You know what I mean? Just stay consistent. And, you know, I go through my seasons in which I take breaks and take hiatuses and, you know, do what I do life, go through life, handle my business. But what I learned is that you lose some of that fire. You know what I mean? And some of those people that you have been reaching, some of them stay, some of them go. And it's not about chasing a particular person or a group of people, but it is about continuously putting out that law, putting out what people need, putting out that fuel. You know what I mean? Because this might be the only church somebody get.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, they may not attend no service on Sunday, or they may not have other people pouring life into them. So they may look at your 1-minute video or 40-second video and be like, I needed that. That saved me. That saved me from making a decision that could have changed my life. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we got to look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? It's okay to look at the smaller picture too, because we do have responsibilities and we are grown-ups and you're a parent. So I understand life happens, but at the same time, we have to be cognizant of the fact that it's other people that we're doing this for. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of, oh, we got to do it because they need it. Nah, it's a sense of we need to do it because they need it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So,
okay.
Talk to me. What's the piece of advice?
Oh, it's so like basic, but keep going. Because when you think about it, when God told Abraham to leave his land and go to a foreign land,
Right.
it was so much connected to that ounce of obedience.
Yeah.
Even though keep going is like the basic, no, literally keep going.
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
when somebody's going to need that word.
Yeah.
So you can't get yourself in the way and just think, so that keep going is, I think it's with consistency, but it's
sure.
just like, even then, don't stop. So it's for both of us,
Don't
honestly.
stop.
Don't stop. They need it. And it's
stop.
okay because we need them as well.
Absolutely.
Because it ain't just no walk in the park, getting on camera. Some days it's hot, some days we're tired.
Some days you don't have nothing to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me. Talk to me. All right. So when you're not speaking, you're not praying, you're not in the word, you're not being a mommy, what are some things Worldwide Speaks like to do? What are some of your hobbies?
Oh, I love to jam to some old school. I love the 90s, in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And just have a good time, just get in my zone.
Talk heavy, yeah.
Yeah, just relax and just, embrace my femininity, and then my human nature too.
Okay.
And just releasing, that positive energy and atmosphere.
Okay. I love it. I love it. And for those people who may not be up to it on their music, top 3 artists right now.
Right now?
Your top 3.
Oh, God, I'm in the 90s. Oh, I got to come up to date.
All right. Top 3 of the 90s.
Okay.
Top 3
Okay,
of the 90s.
Christopher Wallace, Biggie. I love him so much.
R.I.P.
Okay.
Best stuff.
Number 2, Mary J. Blige. That's why I got this mole tatted, because I'm Mary J. Blige Jr. I love Mary. Number 2, and then 3, who do I like? SWV.
Sisters with Voices.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They might. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. She know a little something.
Yeah.
She know a little something. Okay. This may be a little personal.
It's fine.
I see you got a lot of tattoos.
Yes.
Do they all have meaning? Were some of them spontaneous? Did you just want art, or kind of speak on some of them if you don't mind?
Oh, yes, they all mean something. I know they're permanent. So it's just like when they do my autopsy, I want them to see everything, all the life that's written on me. They'll learn a lot about me through these tattoos. This is in French, malcomprise. It means misunderstood. I feel misunderstood a lot, but I just recently learned don't seek to be understood, seek to understand. So then I got birds. They represent freedom to me. I love that. Just being free and not, thinking about what nobody says. Just living in your authenticity, your truth. It is what it is. It happened. I got flowers, one behind my ear, on my foot. God takes care of them. So what make you think He's not going to take care of you? Let's see, what else do I have? I got a cross, represents crucifixion, and then you have Christ Jesus, and then I'm big on respect and loyalty. It's in Arabic, and I love the different cultures. Why you see different languages, So when the Tower of Babel happened, God crushed it down, and that's why everybody speaks so many different languages, and I just embrace it. It's beautiful.
I love it. I love it. Love art. Art tells so many. It speaks, you know what I mean, and it doesn't have to say a word.
Yeah.
Like the vision, the pictures. Yeah. Who are your biggest influencers? It could be speaking influencers, just women. It could be anybody. Who are a couple of your biggest ones? Like people you look up to, people you go and study their work, because you got to be a student of the game. You
That's
have
right.
to
That's
be.
right. That's right. Oh, that's just catching me off guard.
I'll
everybody.
go. For me, definitely want to give these people their flowers while they're still living. Follow a guy named Wallow267 on Instagram. Love everything he puts out.
Yeah, he did that interview with Dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I love everything. He's raw, just like you. He's raw. Sometimes he'll go out, he'll record like this. Sometimes he'll have a setup like we got. Sometimes he'll throw on something nice. Sometimes he'll throw on his sweats. Like he's just raw. He himself. You know what I mean? And just to hear his story, he speaks from his truth. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't try to fabricate anything. He tells his story in all of his messages, and he does it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I respect the hustle. I respect the consistency. I respect the vulnerability. I respect the transparency and just things like that, man. Like I aspire to be when it comes to speaking and sharing my message and kind of telling my story. So he's definitely one of my biggest ones. And they're just my family, honestly. Like being around them, I get so many different topics. You know what I mean? Now my family is growing and will continue to grow in the future. So man, I get so many. I'm influenced by them in so many different ways, and they probably don't even know. You know what I mean? And I just want to thank everybody in my family, you know what I mean? Because without them, you know what I mean, a lot of times I probably would lose it. I'll lose that fire, because if it was just for me, I'd be like, nah, I'll figure out something else. You know what I mean? Like, I get caught up in that microwave style, you know what I mean? But sometimes I feel like you got to have something you can fall back on, something you could really just be like, all right, this is the reason I'm going. These are the people I'm doing it for, you know what I mean? And I think like they're a huge reason I do the things I do, and the reason I speak how I speak. So, yeah, that's just two influences for me. What about you?
I'm gonna keep it high if I
Keep it
can.
all the way up.
I don't really find nobody that just really catches my eye to watch all the time.
Respect.
But you
Respect.
have just inspired me to find somebody
Respect.
and just, there's a couple that I draw to. Like, I like Colin Kaepernick. I love his bravery and what he did. Kneeling down in front of everybody, risking it all.
Yeah.
That was courageous. I love that about him. Then he found his truth. Watching his story and everything. But I mean, he doesn't do too much for me to keep watching. But what he has done, I do like and have drawn to. But as far as females, you're just going to encourage me to go find some.
Nah, I definitely feel it. And I also want to give flowers to the late, great Nipsey Hussle, man. He influenced me in more ways than one would ever know. Like, he was so smart, you know what I mean? But he could carry himself however you took it. And I appreciated that, and I like that, you know what I mean? And you weren't finna get over on him in no type of interview. Like, he was always ready, he was always prepared. And he could talk to anybody, you know what I mean? Like, he could be on the block talking, he can go in corporate and talk, he can talk to a football team. And I like, if people could just, that's so many people. Inky Johnson, E.T., so many people. I ain't gonna even go down that road. So, why do people in this generation live through their ego? Why do you think? Because I see it. I know they do. People are ego-driven. Why is that, though?
Because they don't know who they are. They are who they've created themselves to be, which is why a lot of them live beyond their means. So it's very fragile. It falls apart. Anytime you say something they don't like, they can't accept the truth because they haven't really seen who they are. But we can see it. They just can't. So when you step outside of your ego, because, we don't live through the flesh, God encourages us to live through the spirit. And you see the reality. I ain't all that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna look good, but I ain't all that for real.
Absolutely.
And that's
now,
true.
I know social media has a lot of positives, but it also has a couple negatives too. And do you think that plays a part in which people, because I feel like you don't have to be yourself. Like, I can be a 10-year-old kid in a basement making up whatever story I want to make up, saying whatever I want to say to whoever, you know what I mean? And it flows, it goes, because who's going to check me? You're not going to find me to check me.
Right.
So do you think social media has an impact on that?
Yeah, people are able to hide who they really are. They just hide. We're in a very hidden generation, so that's why when you meet certain people from offline, you be like, are you even the same person? You ain't even that tough for real.
At all.
You can't even talk for real.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Making up what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know you.
You full of quotes. Who are you?
I think also people have just forgotten how to be genuine and nice. You know what I mean? Like, chivalry, all that stuff is dead. You know what I mean? And you don't gotta, you definitely gotta protect yourself, and you know what I mean, be able to speak up for yourself and all that other stuff. But at the same time, people don't respect nobody. You just spoke on it earlier. You got respect on your neck. People don't respect nobody no more. People not genuine. People not nice. Like, how do you move in a world where it's hard to find genuine people?
Jesus teaches, be as wise as serpents and as gentle as doves. So walking in that wisdom, knowing I can see you, but I'm going to handle you politely. I don't have to act out of character because you don't know who you are. I'm going to handle you with gentleness, but keep you at a distance.
Like that. I like that. That's power. Did it take you a long time to get there?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to call you out, I'm going to say this.
Right.
It's a time to be silent, it's a time to speak.
Yeah. And honestly, that probably speaks louder than you saying anything. They probably feel that way harder than what you, okay, cool. If you go out and curse them out or put physical, you know what I mean, you do any of that stuff, yeah, they're going to feel it immediately. But after that, boom, it's over with. All right, cool, I'm going to do it again. But, when you respond in the way you respond, it shows growth, it shows transformation. We've been talking about it all night. Come on now. Process.
Come on
Can't
now.
ignore the process. Why? It's going to be the one for you.
Okay.
Why putting God first? Explain the benefits that putting God first has. Like, why is that to you?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not to everybody else, but to you. Like, why is that so important? Like, what are the benefits behind it? I understand it could be all right here and there, but like long term, short term, whatever. Like, why? Explain the benefits of putting God first.
Okay, putting God first in everything, in your day, your friendships, your relationships. Remember I told you, he showed me in the dream 3, 5, and 6. So verse 6 says, acknowledge me in all of your ways and I will direct your paths.
Yeah.
Putting him first means acknowledging him first in everything.
Yeah,
Since I've learned that throughout the process, you can avoid so much if you learn to put him first. Oh my, it's a peace that surpasses all understanding. So I'm gonna give you an example of regular day. You know what I'm saying? You're not feeling good. You know, you put God first that day. Made sure you surrendered and you submitted. You go to the doctor, they tell you got cancer. You didn't even know that was happening in your body. But he said, I give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. You didn't know, but I did. But you're gonna make it through.
There you go.
You're going through this with somebody else.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense to nobody else. That's why the peace surpasses all understanding.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what. You make a brother want to stretch it here. Man, hold on. Phew, we killing the game. We killing it. I think we giving everybody exactly what they want to hear. You know what I mean? And it's the first of many.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, what we trying to do now is we're really trying to be vessels to our community. You know what I mean? Like, we come from the same place.
Come on now.
We know exactly what it's like to come from that place.
Come on
You know what I mean? So for us to be walking different paths, but the same at the same time,
That's right.
like, it's a testament to you're not always a product of your environment. Like, there's always a way out. You know what I mean? And you got to find your purpose. Once you find your purpose, everything else will work itself out. So let's talk about it a little bit. You're intelligent. You're smart. Anybody can tell. Anybody's listening can tell that. I think a lot of times, us being black, you being a black woman, people may not necessarily put intelligence on you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They may automatically assume you unintelligent. Do you think intelligence is a tribute to color, or do you think intelligence is whoever go out and applies themselves?
It's attributed to what you apply yourself to. You know, it's all about choices. And, you know, you're talking about being a minority, a black woman, and a single mom. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm a statistic. But God said, your favorite verse, I'm going to work everything out. I'm going to use you to break the statistic. You can do it. And I ain't got no shame. We're going to break it.
At all. So I know you're into the mental health field. You know, you're doing some therapy work. Kind of speak on that. Like, what are you doing work-wise when you're not speaking?
I became a mentor. That's the first step to many towards my goal. I would like to be in that field, the social psychologist field. So legally, until I get my degree, I became a mentor. Just applying myself more of my time, learning the people and mentoring them. So I love it. I love learning the brain, why we do what we do, and then breaking through with the spirituality and helping them understand that everything is spiritual. So once you break that spiritual path, that breakthrough, your mind to get it, then your body will follow.
Now, I'm a black man living in America. I'm gonna be completely raw right now. This is what we doing, y'all. We being raw and uncut. I'm a black man living in America. I was brought up to be tough. I was brought up not to cry. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of other black men can attest to that. Why is mental health so important? And more importantly, why is black mental health so important in today's world?
Because all of the power lies in the melanin. That's why we get attacked so much. It's all in us throughout the years, everything. When we walk in a room, no matter what we look like, no matter whatever it is, they come subject to us just because of our melanins.
Right.
You know, the black is very the sweet of juice, and that's the reality of it. So that black king is like, oh, and imagine when you're awakened to it. You know, you're taking those steps to, you know, to be awakened to it. Some haven't. So imagine it's a little bit harder for some than others. So, you know, it's a great thing. And that mental health, understanding that we're attacked so much in our minds because Satan does not want us to know who we are. So when you understand who you are, it's nothing. I can see, you know, other, you know, races or whatever and be at peace because I know I have the power, not only in my skin, but in my talk.
And also think everything is connected, right? Like what you feel, how you treat people, how you react to certain situations. You talked about the brain. I think all of that stuff is connected. Now, I'm no mental health major, or I don't study that stuff by far, but just the older I've gotten, you know what I mean, and the more life I've lived, I've been able to understand that, you know what, like, sometimes you got to take a step back. You got to understand that, listen, the reason why this person is reacting the way they're reacting is because of something else they had going on. You know what I mean? And you talked about it. Don't always react. Sometimes take a step back.
Yep.
Listen, ask. I was watching TV the other day and I heard a guy say, you know what, when someone disrespects me, the first thing I do is I hit them with comfort. And I'm like, comfort? What do you mean by that? He was like, now I want to know what's going on. Like, buddy, you all right? What's going on? Like, something going on in your life?
I like that.
Our immediate response is to fight friction with friction. Somebody disrespect you, you want to hit them. You want to find out where they stay at. And these days, these dudes want to pull up and kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's us understanding that everything is connected. Our mind is connected with our body's connected with our tongue. You know what I mean? And learning that and understanding that, dog, they may be going through something psychologically that I'm not necessarily aware of, but they don't know how to communicate that. So it's my responsibility to help them communicate that. And the only way I could do that is if I don't fight friction with friction, because if I fight friction with friction, I'll never get to the root of the problem. You know what I mean? Because then what they're gonna do, shut down. I don't want to talk no more.
Right.
Now I'm mad. You know what I mean? And also think what you reveal, you heal. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times we hold on to stuff, we bottle up stuff, and we're never able to get to the root of it. You know what I mean? Because we're so busy trying to hide it. We're so busy trying to prove to people that we don't have these problems going on. You know what I mean? But the moment we become vulnerable, the moment we say, all right, cool, this is what I'm struggling with. These are the things that I have problems with. Now I can endure the healing process. Now I can figure out what are the necessary steps that I need to take in order to become a better person, a better man, a better husband, a better friend, a better brother, a better anything. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely a huge part of it. Now, we're wrapping up, I promise you.
All right.
So, Brandon, how big is branding? Like branding your personal self, branding your business, branding what you do, speaking, branding Wisdom with Worldwide. Like, how big is branding?
I mean, honestly, it's really not that important to me. That's why I'm heavy on Authentically Ariana, because of the brand itself. There's just too much work in branding, and this is just me. You know, I'd rather just be and let things just come and flow. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So, I want you to answer this question as freely as you want to.
Okay.
Who is Worldwide Speaks? Who is Worldwide Speaks? The people really want to know, like, not your name, you know what I mean? Not what you're doing, like, who is she to the core?
Worldwide Speaks is a warrior. She is a woman who has overcome a lot from her past to now. And I speak truth, I speak it in love, and I speak gentleness with the power of the Holy Spirit invested within. And Worldwide, I came up with that years ago because I always knew that I wanted to touch the world. So anything that I add after Worldwide is just additional. Worldwide model, all those things is who I am. And that's who I am.
Man, y'all heard it here first. Man. Y'all are in for a treat. Listen, I'm telling you, this year, bigger and better. I want to thank you so much for coming on. You're doing great things. You're doing great things for women, great things for people, great things for men, great things for people of color, great things for people of substance, great things for people who don't necessarily know the word but want to learn the word, great things for people who do know the word.
Glory to God.
You know what I mean? So I just want to say, continue to do what you do. We see you. I see you. After this video drops, everybody's going to see you.
Glory to
you know
God.
what I mean? And I wish you nothing but the best of luck, prosperity. Whatever you want, you can get it. You know what I mean? Like, you got the right mind. You got the work to follow it. I just send all my prayers and blessings to you.
Thank you.
And just thanks again for coming on.
All
We're definitely
right.
going to do more work in the future.
All right.
For
Glory
sure.
to God, and I thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.